Not as much about just the past. I love how
Stories are entertaining. Yes.
No, yes, I love you can't get it wrong and you never get it done.
Right.
And you say...
and the reason that you can't get it wrong is because you never get it done.
And
in other words, whatever you're living causes you to ask for...
And I take so much comfort in when you're like, you could have 20 or 30 lifetimes and you wouldn't get through all the work, at least this is how I hear it, you wouldn't get through all the work that you have ready to pop, because I feel like I never run out of ideas, and it feels like not as much I need to know the past and what I did back then, but it feels like that feeling of time not existing.
Which feels a lot better than shortage consciousness. It's what really living in the now is. And living in the now is understanding who you really are so that you can be aware of all that you are living right now. There is so much more awareness of who you are and what's around you and who others are. The deliciousness of life experience is so much more full than most people are in a position of understanding, where once you get the sense of who you are and you begin practicing looking at this moment and this moment and this moment through the eyes of Source, then there can be so much more satisfying convergences of people and ideas and experiences. That's what you're experiencing with the comic books and the movies and the collaboration that is coming. In other words, once you reach that place where you know that you are a collaborator and you allow yourself to collaborate with the whole of who you are, not the past of who you are, the present tense, which you want to call future tense, the present tense of who you are, that's when life is really, really rich. When an idea occurs to you at the same time that it occurs to several people at the table, and you've all been sitting there chewing, and then the idea just hatches within all of you because you have lovingly brought each other through your association and through your focus together into this place of utter allowance and connection to inner being, and then it's like you have one inner being. That was the reason that we presented that to Jerry and Esther and Tracy in that way. We wanted them to understand that consciousness is not linear like humans want to make it. It's a stream of consciousness. It's a stream of thought. You have access to so much more than you know that you do. And everything else is limiting.
Is the other direction not as limiting? Like how you say this group was gathered before this event happened, like in a way that like time isn't linear like we think. Meaning, when I make work and I step back from something and look at it like from far away, I'll see like a theme. I do abstract stuff and I'll see a theme here that connects up here in a perfect way that I didn't realize repeated, that I didn't realize made this
But what we want
picture.
you to understand that's the law of attraction satisfying the bag of marbles that you've got. That's what it is. It's happening in the moment, precisely for you. In other words, these things that are connecting up are about your active vibrations going on. We want you to take away from this conversation the powerfulness of your focus and how source energy, the energy that creates worlds, is going to focus with you and through you for the most satisfying experience that you can have. And it isn't about who you used to be or who you will one day be. It's about what you're doing right here, right now, by allowing yourself to be a cooperative component to everything that matters to you right now. And everything that matters to you right now is not the same everything that's going to matter to you in the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. But this law of attraction and this worthiness that you've got, this blessedness that you've got, this reason for being, this creativity that you are, life is supposed to feel good to you. It's supposed to be so much fun. And it's not because others need to know it to revere you. It's not because you're climbing the rungs of a ladder. It's not because you're getting the marks on the chart. It's not for any other reason than that you are a creator, and before you got here, you said you were going to come here and do that. What did you say you were going to do? I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel life. I'm going to expand. I'm going to know more. I'm going to be fresh and new. I'm going to interact with others. I'm going to uplift. I'm going to be uplifted. I'm going to have so much fun. And you also knew that this one life experience wasn't going to be enough for you to do it all, because you understood something about physicality. You understood that physicality has some resistance in it, and then in time, you're going to get bogged down in keeping score of what you've created. So you said, I won't be there long. I'll stay while I'm fresh and frisky. So That's the question. How fresh and frisky are you? How much fun are you having? How much are you pushing against, or how much are you anticipating? You get to choose it all. Your physical apparatuses are restorative. They are renewed. You could stay in this body for a really, really, really long time if your interest in life was calling it through you and the peanut gallery wasn't clamoring and causing you to hold resistance. This is the thing that you're dealing with all the time. Source is calling you. Are you going? Source is calling you. Are you going? Or are other physical humans influencing you to wait? Maybe I should take more score. Maybe I should measure myself against others. Maybe I should catalog and pigeonhole myself and everybody else more. That's what bogs you down, is trying to be the law of attraction for everybody else. That's why we call Facebook nosebook. Trying to get involved in things that don't have anything to do with your own point of attraction. Yeah, you can probably tell that we are really not keen on talking a lot about what used to be. We're much more interested in not just what's in your vortex, but the thrill of you moving in the direction of what's in your vortex. The discovery, the anticipation, the adventure, the changing of your ideas, the blending with others, the joining with others who are also on this adventure. Manifestation of vibration is just so delicious if you let it be. Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. Really good.
There are two sayings about truth that I find conflict. The truth shall set you free, and then he who tells the truth shall surely be hanged. In my experience, as a child, was told the truth will set you free.
Well, both of those things are true, aren't they? They're contradictory and they're both true. And here's why. So tell us the first one.
So the first one, for example, as a child...
Just say it like it was. Say it like you just said it to us. The truth shall set you free.
The truth shall set you free.
Well, the reason, even though it's hard to say, the reason that the truth shall set you free is because in alignment with who you are experiencing the absence of resistance, and that is as free as it gets, because it is only resistance that binds you. So that is an absolutely true statement. And what was the other one?
He who tells the truth shall surely be hanged.
That's true too, because the first one is from the upper half of the emotional scale. The second one is from the lower half of the emotional scale. And what it's saying is, if I speak something that is not in alignment with what this person who thinks they are in power holds, then in my pushing against that, they will push back against me. That's the way the law of attraction is, isn't it? So can both things be true? Absolutely, both things can be true, because the law of attraction is responding to whatever your position is.
So what I learned as a child was if I told the truth, I would be punished. So I learned to lie.
Yeah, you learn to tell the truth they want to hear. But then you're not free. So that truth didn't set you free. So you gave up true alignment and love for a false freedom. That's what we're talking about calibrating to humans or calibrating to who you really are. The truth shall set you free. Alignment with your inner being. Take some practice. And you get better and better at it. And the more you do it, the less resistance you have. And the less resistance you have, the more free-flowing you are, and the more of a cooperative component you are to everything that matters to you. Isn't that so nice? Isn't that so nice? That's what you're reaching for. And then you see someone else who wants you to speak a different truth, because they're still in this place where they haven't discovered resistance-free alignment. They're still messing around in this physical world where they're trying to get their power from numbers or from... This is the best way of explaining it. Let's talk about heaven and hell. This is the best way of explaining this. So people say, Abraham, so there must be a source of evil because there's so much of it around. And we say, not a source like the source that you think of as God or goodness. It's like looking for the source of the absence of the light. There's no source of the absence of a light. There's no source spewing inky, misty darkness. There's just the light that is being allowed or not allowed. And so the same thing with what you want to call good and evil. There's no source of evil. It's just not allowing the stream of well-being that is flowing all the time. But every thought that has ever been thought still exists. And the law of attraction gathers those thoughts into sort of streams that are very compelling. So when you get focused on something unwanted and then you join conversations about it and you push hard against it and you feel that awfulness of losing the life force because you're not replenishing yourself because you're pushing so hard, it feels like surely there must be someone that is doing this to me because I would not do this to myself. And we say, everyone is doing everything to themselves because no one can think for you. No one can be your point of attraction. And your guidance system is letting you know. So it's a hard sell to get people to be nice enough to themselves to feel good more of the time. Esther early on was talking to us about something, and we were giving her this understanding, and she said, Abraham, I think you need more information about this person. She just felt like if we really understood that then we would join her in that thought. And she had come far enough with us to know that the discomfort that she felt at any time was because of the discord or the gap between us. So she thought maybe it might be nice if we just join her over here, which is not ever going to happen. With any of you, your inner being is never going to join you in pushing against anyone for any reason, because that's not who Source is. Source is uplifting and looking forward. Source understands that someone may be in a terrible place of pinching themselves off from Source, but Source sure isn't going to go over there like other humans do and try to fill the gap with something. In other words, you have to fill your own gap with your own truth, with your own alignment to your own love and your own clarity and your own well-being. Yeah?
Yeah. How can you tell? How can I tell if someone is telling me the truth?
You know, it really doesn't matter, because they could be lying to you and you could know it and you could be feeling awful, so you're using their lie to keep you from being who you really are. You're using what you've decided they are to be your justification for not being who you are. I've decided to deprive myself, and it's perspective anyway. You don't get to decide any of that. We know that it seems like there are facts and that there are those truths. We get it. But we're talking big picture here. Here's a really easy way to look at this. When you give somebody the benefit of the doubt, you're the one who receives the benefit first. And so you really don't want to run around and collect a bunch of information about how bad people are. Because once you gather up your marbles about all this that you want to push against, you've just set yourself up for a whole lot of tug of war between you and your inner being, who will not do that. And that's when Esther says, you need more information. Abraham, you need more information. If you knew what I know, then you would not be mad at that pilot for cheating me out of 20 minutes of flight. And we say, you cheated yourself out of the flight.